Welcome back, guys. I have got one of my favorite techniques to share with y'all today. And I've already done a video in the past covering this, but this is a spin on that technique. And it's a way that I really believe I can generate more bites than other guys. You can go behind people. And this is one particular bait that I love to throw, and it's a swim jig, but it's not your everyday swim jig. It's not what guys tend to think. I believe a lot of people, when they think swim jig, they think just big hook, big line, big rod, just heavy cover, and that catches fish. Don't get me wrong, and I love to do it, but there are times that you need to finesse. You need to cut down on your weight, a little bit smaller line, smaller baits to get those fish to bite. So the jig I like to throw is the Dirty Jigs Compact Swim Jig. And if you guys haven't tried this dude out, you're missing the ball. I'm just telling you right now. This swim jig right here, super sharp hook, but it's a lighter, a little bit smaller hook than what normally comes in like their normal swim jig, their no jack, all of that stuff. Those are going to be your bigger, big 5/0 flipping hooks. This is a smaller gauge. I believe it's a 4/0. Still the same head on it. Still the same, swimming style head. A little bit lighter weed guard, and then the skirt is actually their finesse skirt from Dirty Jigs. So it's a little bit lighter, thinner strand skirt material. Really allows that to just move a ton without giving it a lot of action. Comes through the water just perfect. And what's just incredible about this jig is you're able to, like I said, downsize all of your tackle to throw this jig. You don't have to throw the big 7.5, heavy rod to catch fish on this. You can throw this on a 7-foot, 7.2 medium heavy fast action rod and have no problem setting hook on the fish. So I just want to kind of go through some colors, and I got 3 trailers that I like to throw on this guy, and then I'll kind of talk through on, the line that I like to throw and some stuff you can get away with throwing and still catch these fish. And like I said earlier, man, you can really, I feel like if there's a lot of guys that are catching them on swim jigs, 90% of the time they're going to be throwing full-size swim jigs, 3/8 and half-ounce jigs with 5/0 hooks and, 50, 60-pound braid, and you're able to tie this guy on and go behind them, and you're finesse fishing, but you're still catching the same fish those guys are fishing for, but you're able to do it and get a lot more bites, and it's just so much fun catch them on this little bait. Most of the time when they eat this thing, they've got it swallowed. So just a few colors that I've got right here. This one, of course, you've got to have black and blue. I don't care where you go in the country, you've got to have a black and blue. And I've got this one paired up with a Z-Craw Junior. This is the black sapphire color. And you just cut a little bit off that Z-Craw, thread them on there, and it fits just perfect. The other one is the tactical shad. Perfect shad color. It's not too bright, a little bit translucent of a color. And then I've got it paired up with the Strike King Rage Menace. Perfect little trailer. It's a finesse, more of a finesse trailer for this jig. It's just going to have a little tight kicking action. Still incredible setup right there. The other trailer I throw is the Rage Scound Bug. I believe this is the 3.5, the 3.5 inch, the small one. They've got a 4-inch. It's a little bit too much for this jig, but the 3.5 pairs up just perfect. And that's on one of my favorite colors on this jig is the Alabama Bream. And I don't know if you can see that the paint's just beat off this thing from where they've been choking this jig here lately. It's gosh almighty, it's so much fun. But I cut a little bit of that scound bud on there and thread him on there, and he's got a perfect little kicking action. Much like the Z craw, the scound bud and the Z craw junior go kind of hand in hand. Really, either one you're gonna be fine with. They skip really good. Got a flat back to them. I just kind of mix match on what colors I'm going with. Strike Team might have a color that Zoom doesn't, and vice versa. But that being said, the main thing to take away from this video is the weight and the line size you're able to throw on this swim jig and still get those fish in the boat. These are all 5/16 ounce. On my standard swim jigs, the full size, 90% of the time I'm throwing 3/8. Every so often I'll go up to a 1/2 ounce, but usually that's a 3/8. These, I always start with a 5/16, but they've also got this thing in a 1/4 ounce. And if you are in some clearer water, or you feel like those fish are super pressured, you can go to that 1/4 ounce and really float that bait high and get it to stay in front of those fish a whole lot longer, instead of like everybody else is going to be chunking a 3/8 or 1/2 ounce, and it's going to be moving 90 to nothing, and it's going to be by those fish before they even have time to think about it. But 5/16, 1/4, you're able to really float that bait high and get it in their face for longer, and I feel like they have a whole lot longer of a time to react to that bait and eat it. So play around with those two sizes, 5/16 or 1/4. It just all depends on if you want to float that bait a little bit higher, get it to stay in the strike zone a lot longer, or you can go to that 5/16 and move it around a little bit quicker. But the line that I like to throw on this, if I'm around a good bit of cover, and I feel like I might get tangled up in some stalk grass or lily pads or something like that, I'm gonna throw 40-pound braid. This is Power Pro 40-pound braid. Super good line, cast really good. No problem breaking on 40. It's actually the top end of the compact swim jig that I throw. But the line that I've actually gone to here lately, and I feel like it's helped me get a few more bites, is 30-pound from Power Pro. And I just feel like that little bit smaller diameter braid, the lighter jig, I'm able to just really finesse that jig in and around cover, and you're able to just make it do all different things than a normal heavy swim jig does. And I'm able to just like I said, float this thing around and work it in and out of the stalk grass and lily pads, and it's so much fun. And don't be scared of 30-pound braid on this swim jig. You're not gonna break them. It's plenty strong to get a hook in them and get those fish out. The other line, what's cool about this jig is you can throw this thing on fluorocarbon, and I usually go with the 17-pound Seagar fluorocarbon, and this is really good for if you're around the big marina docks or super clear water and you want to throw this thing down some seawalls or something like that, and you feel like those fish are getting too good of a look at braid, you can switch to fluorocarbon. The only thing is you do need to hit them a little bit harder with the fluorocarbon than you do braid, because you're going to have a little bit of stretch. But other than that, I've had no issue getting hooked in them with the 17-pound fluorocarbon. And when the other tip I've got is, when you do throw braid, 30 or 40-pound braid, you do not have to hit these fish with everything you got. The days of just rearing back and hitting them with everything, you don't have to do this with these swim jigs. Like I said earlier, it's got a thinner wire hook, super sharp, so it doesn't take as much to bend that weed guard and get that hook in the fish. So the last thing is the rod that I throw. I use a 7-1 medium heavy fast action. Every now and then I'll go to like a 7-2 if I feel like I need to get a little bit longer cast, but the 7-1 medium heavy fast action, I throw a G Loomis. It does perfect on this swim jig. A whole lot of tip, just enough backbone that I can get those fish out of the cover, but it's not too heavy to where I'm worried about, hey, I may, you know, bend the hook out, because you can bend these hooks out. If you hit them too hard, if you tighten your drag down, you will bend these hooks out. So just keep that in mind when you throw them around, is, you know, loosen your drag a little bit. Don't eat all your weenies and set the hook like a madman when you're throwing this thing. But other than that, you will, I guarantee you will catch a whole lot of fish on these swim jigs. Like all my videos, I'll put in the description the exact jig. I'll put a few colors and the trailers that I throw, so you guys can pull the description up and look and see exactly what I'm talking about. But hopefully this helps you guys out, and go pick one up, go try it, and you'll catch more fish than your buddies. We'll see you on the next one.